Hello everyone, I am Miss Divya Verma, Faculty of Social Science, Class 7, Mount Literacy School, Jhansi.
Students, in the previous lecture, we had talked about the chapter number 3 of history. In that, we had seen about Delhi Sultans, various dynasties which ruled in Delhi Sultans. So, how Delhi began as the capital city and the dynasty ruled on it for some time period. Now, students, there the dynasty rules we have seen were Mamluk dynasty first, means slave dynasty, then Khaljis, then Tughlaqs, then Sayyids, and then Lodhis. Now students, in today's session we'll be talking about the sources of information about Delhi Sultans and the garrison towns and the expansion. So let's first start with the sources of information uh, which we came to know about the Delhi Sultans. So some inscriptions, coins, architecture provided a lot of information, and also a term Tariq also provided information about the Delhi Sultans. Tariq, we can say the manuscript written about the Delhi Sultans. So what was Tariq? It was the chronicles written by the scribes called Tariq during this time period. It was originated as an Arabic word meaning history or historiography. It was a source of information, we can say, at Delhi Sultan's time period. These were written in Persian, which was at the time the language of administration in the Delhi Sultanate, and the authors who wrote these Tawarik were the learned men, secretaries, administrators, poets, etc., who all lived in cities and wrote histories for sultans, and they get reward from the sultans. So Tariq can also be known as the manuscript written at the time of Delhi Sultans, which was termed as Tariq or Tawarik. So now children, in the list of dynasties who ruled in the Delhi Sultanate given in the book, there are some gaps in the ruling dates. For example, Ghiyasuddin Balban ended his rule in 1287 Common Era, and then Jalaluddin Khalji came in 1290. So what about the remaining years left in between, that is between 1287 to 1290? So there are so many gaps in this list. You may see that there are such gaps as during such time period there were no clear leadership which established the rule in Delhi. So that is why the gaps were there in the dates. Now let us know about the garrison town and the expansion of Delhi Sultanate. Now, as Delhi at the time was a small city within India, but there were many Delhi Sultans who were able to expand their control beyond Delhi and inside the Delhi and all. So expansion started from garrison towns and hinterland. Now what were they? Hinterland were the land adjacent to a city or a port that supplied it with goods and services. Like for an example, we can say, let's take a city, Kolkata is a port city, and all the places near Kolkata like Bihar, UP, Haryana, Rajasthan, so these all some such places who all supplied goods first to Kolkata port, and then from Kolkata these goods were supplied to the other areas. So all these other states nearby Kolkata were hinterlands for the port Kolkata. So this way we can assume for Delhi also nearby places were called as hinterland. Now let us know about garrison town in simple words. So garrison town is a fortified settlement with soldiers. So garrison is what? The soldiers. So town protected by soldiers is garrison town. As in the 13th century there was a system of fortified towns. Fortified towns is what? A town, we can say, enclosed from all sides of the walls of the fort, which is called a fortified town. Understood or not? So this was the fortified town, and these fortified towns were protected by the garrisons. These fortified towns were protected by who? Garrisons. So that is why they were called as garrison towns. Garrison were who? Garrison were a group of soldiers who protected a town or a fort. So this way that region were known as the garrison town. So in the early 13th century Delhi Sultan ruled in these fortified towns. 13th century these garrison towns were ruled by the Delhi Sultans, but they did not control the nearby land. As I told, these nearby land were known as hinterlands. Rather, means they did not control those land from where goods were produced. So for goods, they were dependent upon trade and loot for the supply of goods. So for the goods they used to do trade and the loot for the goods. So There were some garrison towns in Bengal and Sindh also, but controlling there for Delhi was a very difficult task. Means this Bengal and Sindh garrison towns was unable to control. Means we it was a very difficult task for Delhi. Now this way the communication routes were disturbed due to this rebellion and the bad weather. Now from what rebellion we are talking about? Delhi Sultans were that time facing challenges by the Mongols of Afghanistan and their own governors. So this Mongols of Afghanistan and their own governors, they all were forcing and attacking towards Delhi Sultan. So Delhi Sultan used to face so many challenges by these people. Then the main expansion of the Sultanate took place during the reign of Ghiyasuddin Balban, Alauddin Khalji and Muhammad Tughlaq. So this all started expanding. Now the campaigns of expansion were along the internal frontiers and external frontiers. Means the internal frontiers and external frontier are the places that Delhi Sultan used to capture. So what were they? What were the internal frontiers and external frontiers? Let us know about internal frontiers. We can say means initially sultans tried to expand in the area around Delhi, and external frontier means the rulers trying to expand the power beyond Delhi. So internal frontiers, the main aim of internal frontier were the aim of sultan was to consolidate the hinterlands of the garrison town. Means they want to capture the area near the fortified town who supply goods. They go to the forest, and the forests were cleared in the Ganga Yamuna do. Means they used to clear the forest. Then hunter gatherers and the pastoralists, means जो चरवाहे होते थे वो they were removed or expelled from these land, and then all such lands which were cleared, there new fortresses and towns were established. Means all the land were used to made for agriculture purpose and all, and the fortresses and towns were also established in those areas. So this was all about the internal frontiers. Now external frontier is what? It is the land into the military expedition into the southern India. Means the area beyond Delhi was known as the internal frontier, which was started by Alauddin Khalji and the Tughlaqs. Then apart from this places beyond Delhi, the Sultanate armies captured elephants, horses and many more. Means they all captured the places beyond Delhi, that is from southern India, as well as they captured what? Elephants, horses, slaves, and took away the precious metals also. So this was all from the external frontiers. So this is all what we studied about external internal frontier. By the end of Tughlaq's reign, the armies had marched across a large part of the subcontinent, and they captured many areas and the many regions under them. So this was all about the expansion and all, and the sources we had studied. So this session we had studied about the sources and the garrison towns, hinterlands, internal and external frontier and all. Now thank you. In the next lecture we'll be talking about the administrations of the Delhi Sultans. Okay, thank you.